The path of least resistance is realer than ever. Some people realize it, others don't. We're talking about businesses' lives, revenue, and liability. To understand that as a coach, understand that as a trusted advisor, is knowing how to ask the right questions. And I would try to figure out, why are we doing this?
Thanks for joining us on another episode of Profit Producing Activity. I am super, super excited that our guest today is someone that most of you or all of you should know, Mr. JB, John Bermudez. Did I say it right?
Beautifully said.
Oh, somebody probably hacks up your name all the time.
I get Bermuda, Bermudez, Bermudez. You'd be surprised, everything in between.
Yeah, I've had Daytona, Dakota, not Dakota. What was it? Durango. The common question is north or south. You know, I'm like, oh, okay, here we go.
I look at it as creativity.
Yeah.
They're creative minded, so I could at least spend the time that I'm going to spend with them and look at the positive.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So how you enjoying Vegas?
Man, it's I feel that it's changed, and maybe it's because I've matured. But I just look at things a little bit different than I did when I came here, like maybe 8 years ago.
Were you single 8 years ago?
I was single 8 years ago, and I was trying to figure out what was going on in the world.
Yeah.
So now I'm like, wow, these people look like zombies. And it's pretty cool that person just won $10,000 by pushing a button. So I'm a little bit more analytical.
That's fantastic.
But I think for me, it's the on-demand, bro. It's like, and hopefully we're not like super corporate and all that stuff, but it's the on-demand of like, man, people come from all over the world here.
Yeah.
They take a chance. They bet on whatever they have in their pocket or on a credit line in hopes that they could change their life for the better. Because no one ever comes here and says, hey, let me just lose it all really quick.
Correct, yeah. They're not coming here just to party. They're coming here to win money, party, do the Vegas thing.
Get creative.
Yeah. It's interesting. Prior to COVID, the number one revenue source in Las Vegas was gambling. Since COVID, it's flip-flopped. While gambling's revenue, so in the last couple of months, it's down from previous years, but most years, gambling's revenue is the same. But what has replaced it as the top is now food and entertainment.
Yeah.
So a lot of people coming for the food, a lot of people coming for the shows, Cirque du Soleil and, Blue Man Group and all that kind of normal stuff. Plus, we have the introduction of the Raiders to Las Vegas.
Oh, man, I thought that was a game changer.
Yeah, we have WNBA now. Wow. We're one of the next in line to get an NBA team. And I don't know if you saw it, but they're building what will soon be the Las Vegas A's stadium on the corner of Tropicana and Las Vegas Boulevard.
I've been missing out, man. Yeah. And, I'm running life too fast, right? You got to slow it down and kind of see what's going around. But it's so powerful that everything you've just shared is all great things for the economy,
100%,
as well as for the people.
Yeah,
and it just shows evolution.
Yeah,
and that's like kind of what we're doing in our world. What we're doing, and I gotta say, one, I appreciate you inviting me.
My pleasure, man. I appreciate you coming.
Yeah, I'm usually on the other side. I have a little background, man. Like I have had the privilege of being welcomed into HighLevel, like the HighLevel business. Working with some amazing people who I know nobody when I first started here.
Wow.
It's just been all for trust and actions. And just to have the opportunity and then interacting with the customer base and then those that are just getting started being familiar. And I never streamed before. I never did any sort of online marketing in the sense of like promoting myself.
Yeah.
And I've had a chance to learn from some great people behind the scenes at HighLevel. And I do want to share that the invitation means a lot because we got to hang out a little bit at the Level Up Summit.
Yeah.
But I do want to make it clear that what I'm sharing is my opinion.
Yeah.
And as an invitation that I accepted, what I'm going to share is my opinion, my experience. And I just have a privilege of helping people that use HighLevel throughout that opportunity.
I appreciate that. Thank you for clarifying that. I think I've shown you some of the questions we're going to ask.
Yeah, right? No surprises. And I know there's like a disclaimer that'll probably pop up on the bottom and stuff. This is the warning. Whatever job review says is not resembling of HighLevel. I get it, and that's fine. But we're human beings, right?
Correct.
And I think what we talked about offline, even at the Level Up Summit and elsewhere, is man, we get the chance to serve people. And when you gave out your challenge coins during that talk you did, it just showed the nobleness and the passion you have for people that are in the ecosystem and you don't even know who they are personally.
Yeah.
So that's why I said if it's good with the back end team, I would love to have the opportunity to be on, this stage that you've put together for yourself.
I appreciate that.
Yeah,
Thank you for being here.
So now we got all that,
got that
legal jargon, all that other stuff out. Legal team, I got you covered. But yeah, let's have some fun, and I hope I get to inspire and teach a few people along the way.
So before we get started and dive into our questions, I think most people in the high-level community know who JB is, right? If they don't know you by name, they know you by face because they've seen you on your spotlight sessions and so forth. But give them, a 15, 30-second rundown of like who you are, how you found HighLevel, and how we got to this point.
Yeah, I'm a very private person, believe it or not.
Okay.
And, back in the day, I knew a lot of people, and a lot of people knew of me, but no one knew me personally.
Okay.
It's just, I don't know what it is. It's growing up. I've just been kind of private, introvert. And over the years, I've grown into just serving others.
Okay.
And in that, I've been able to have some good relations where people will talk behind my back positively. And they'll look out for me without me having a direct relationship with them.
Says a lot about who you are.
Crazy, man. And when I started to notice that, I said, I need to keep doing what I'm doing to help others so I could just have these guardian angels throughout my journey.
Yeah.
And it's always protected me since. And in that case, I have friends, so I don't want to make it seem like I have no friends. I definitely have friends and family.
This is the first time I've left the house in 8 years.
No, not at all. Like I have friends. I'm just a private person where, I don't try to put myself out there to be embarrassed or to embarrass others. Although we all make mistakes, I try to just kind of run a straight line.
Yeah.
And I
Keep
think
a positive life.
Positive life.
Yeah.
And when I started HighLevel, it was by accident. I was getting ready to get married to my bride, and it was about 1.5 years ago. And I had my agency.
Okay.
I had a social media marketing agency, faceless agency, behind the scenes, just working hard trying to figure it out.
Okay.
I had gone through one of the high-level, well-known coaches that was also in like a corporate digital marketing world.
Okay.
And I went through his on-ramp, and I learned this. This guy knows what he's talking about. He's from my world. And I started that because I worked in gyms in my early ages. I was in gym sales.
We have a lot in common.
We do.
Yeah.
And gym sales humbled me because it was one of those things that I fluctuate in weight. So one day I'm like super fit. One quarter I'm super fit, and the next one I'm like stressed out because I'm a stressed out eater.
Sure.
And I would still sell personal training. I would still sell it all because it was my enthusiasm, my energy. And I knew how to understand the person on the other side of me to get them to the end result they wanted.
Love it.
So I always ran through that naturally, and I would take tours and kind of go around the fitness centers and went from like just in one gym to doing pre-sales. And at that time, that was like the thing.
Yeah.
You hit a pre-sale, you're hitting success.
Yeah. A lot of gym sales happen at the pre-sale.
A lot of gym sales happen in the pre-sale. And in that journey, I just kind of kept staying in sales. And it's been amazing. And then I was at a gym. I was at a health and wellness center, a medical fitness center. Guy comes up to me. He goes, man, you're pretty good at what you do. I joined the gym with you like when you guys, before you opened up. Haven't been here since. And I get all your emails. I get your SMS. I get your bring a friend. And I work for a big digital marketing company, and I need to hire a person that's like you. And I said, oh, I'm good, man. Because I was always loyal. I'm good. And it was also ego.
Yeah.
Because I would find it insulting where it's like, I get you a job. I'm good where I'm at, even though I'm dead broke.
Yeah.
It was just principle. Like, I'm good.
Right.
I'm doing all right behind the desk, selling gym memberships. I'm making millions of dollars in my mind.
In your mind.
In my mind. And he knows what's going on. And he's trying to make it easy. He says, look, let me flip the business card over. He says, look, you can make $40K, full health benefits, car allowance, give me a call. And I had that card in there for like 6 months.
Wow.
And then I turned it over one day. I said, hey, man, I want to take you up on the offer just out of curiosity. You're still looking for a closer, so I'm going to get it done. He goes, yeah. And then it changed my life.
Wow.
I went from $12,000 annual salary with commissions, bonuses, fluctuate, you know how it is, never guaranteed.
Absolutely.
To this, what I thought was life-changing money at the time, where it was $40K base, corporate job.
You got a car allowance.
Like I was like winning. Holy smokes.
Yeah.
And then I learned marketing.
That's awesome.
And while y'all were 2020-ish figuring out HighLevel at its early stages, I was figuring out small to medium-sized businesses. How the heck do I get them from the yellow pages to digital marketing?
Yeah.
At 28, 29 years old.
That's awesome.
Now I'm a little old, so I'm going to flex that a little bit. I got some grays, but Yeah.
Far from old.
Yeah.
That's a great story, man.
And dude, it's crazy because it's one of those things, man. I get a chance to, people know there's probably this gentleman if they've been around, Paulson Thomas.
Yeah.
Paulson Thomas was doing this all by himself. And I joke with him. I'm like, hey, man, well, I was doing this, you were doing that. And we kind of built something great together in our experiences. And we're here together now in our own capacities, doing what we like to do best. And I look back and I say, man, this was all meant to be.
100%. Absolutely agree with you. So do you feel like your time in gym sales added to who you are today when it comes to marketing?
Man, sales in general has changed my vision in life when I look back. During the moment, I freaking hated it. I was high off of the excitement and energy when I got a win, and then I freaking hated life. There was a time, man, where early in gym sales, my car got repossessed.
Oh, wow. Right?
And I still showed up to work. At that time, they had Ubers. It just came out. Showed up to work like nothing ever happened. Because I said, I'm not going to give any excuse not to make money.
Right.
I got myself in this position. Let's go. And I did what I had to do. But it was always this mentality of never stop, go, go, go. Or you're going to get run over and buried.
Correct. Yeah. And I think that's the case with not just gym sales, but any sales. Like you've got to keep growing every single day and get better and better at your craft. Learn to make more money, learn to get better, learn to close more, learn to get more leads, things of that nature.
But gym sales was cutthroat.
Very, very.
Very cutthroat.
Especially depending on who you worked for. And we won't get into that.
Yeah.
But certain companies were really good at training people to be like fantastic salespeople. And other companies, you just kind of had to figure it out on your own. The bigger the company, the more training you got in how to actually sell. I come from the fitness world as well.
I remember your story.
Yeah, I started with a company that, so we call it MRR. In the gym world, we call it EFT, electronic funds transfer.
Yeah.
But this is in the late 90s, early 2000s, when that kind of thing was just starting to come out.
Yeah.
Now you look at it and like most businesses in some way, shape, or form are trying to find MRR. Like Netflix has switched that model. Like, you have banks even switching to that model. Like everybody wants that auto payment to where just they don't even have to think about it. Well, that's fantastic. So we're going to get into our questions. Is that okay?
I'm just happy to be here hanging out. And, just to have a camera at me where I can kind of just enjoy myself and kind of reminisce old times. It shows you the power of conversation.
Yeah.
And what you made me realize is that I'm not putting myself, there's work mode, Dakota. And we talked about this a little bit offline. Grind mode, work mode. And I'm not one to sit and watch Netflix, and there's nothing wrong with it. I'm not one to catch up on a series. I just don't find the interest. Maybe I watch a little bit of Chicago PD because I just like the rough edge of the energy sometimes.
Sure.
But that's just like my little show once in a while. But I'm not watching it. To the point where I don't even watch YouTube videos. If I really want to learn something, I'm transcribing them and trying to put them into some sort of process that I could read it, absorb it, and then if it catches my attention, I'll go back and watch it for context.
Oh, wow.
But I'm looking for the actual ingredients, not the flavor. I want to know what are the ingredients in the context, not what it tastes like. Because taste is imaginary, in my opinion.
Flavor is different for each person. That's true. What tastes like grape to me doesn't taste like grape to my wife. That kind of thing. Yeah. So I can definitely understand that. That's an interesting take on things. I love it. So let's dive in. Okay?
Go for it.
First of all, this is a little bit different than what you're used to, because usually you're on the other end of this, asking questions to people like how they do this, right? So I appreciate you taking the time to do this with me. I'm going to start with question number one. Okay, you ready? Over the years of doing your spotlight sessions and your workshops, you've seen dozens of agency owners and creators at different stages. What are 2 or 3 patterns, maybe unexpected ones, that separate those who make it from those who plateau or bum out?
These people that I get the chance to interview, they don't know me from a bag of potatoes. In the beginning, I would try to get on a Google Meets with them, and I try to get to know them a little bit, and that's not sustainable. We had so much moving parts in the last year and a half of workshops and learning and growing, and all these different things, that I didn't have that moment. And what really set the people apart when I interviewed them was them being as open and transparent and willing to share their story without even knowing what to expect from me. And a lot of the people that I've spoken to, they are professionals, and I wasn't their first podcast, nor was I their first interview.
Okay.
So they knew a lot more about my experience than I knew of theirs. They saw my cues, but what really stood out was that they were willing to navigate with me. None of my guests ever made me feel like I didn't know what the heck I was doing, even though I didn't know what the heck I was doing. And they rolled with the punches, even though the questions I asked maybe could have put them at why would you ask that question?
Right.
I say that because as I started to learn their journeys, all of my guests that I've had a chance to interview, as I learned their journeys, I learned that this heart that was unique, that it just didn't pump blood, it pumped everything.
Sustainability. Yeah.
Everything. Heart, sweat, tears, life, passion, grit, just everything. And it was one of those things where when I'm going over scenarios or I'm sharing instances, they just adapted and they had authentic, true stories to share. Because, of course, we do a little bit of research of who we're bringing on.
Of course.
But they were willing to really get into the details. And that's the power of sharing the clues that I'm not going to do it for you, but I'm going to show you how you could do it yourself.
Oh, I love it.
And as I started meeting these guests, I started to learn too that I've been doing it all wrong. I've been work hard, play hard, go hard, don't stop, and throw as much as you can at the wall and see if it sticks. All of these guests, in some way, shape, or form, showed obedience, they showed strategy, and they showed resilience in pivoting when it was expected and unexpected. And that, a lot of them, what they had in common was they were SaaSpreneur winners within HighLevel ecosystem. So that's where they have at least 100 sub accounts for gold. They had 300 to 500 for different levels, platinum, et cetera.
Yeah.
And or they had a framework that they had amazing audiences and communities with. And they just shared there's no secret sauce other than just start cooking.
Yeah.
And the cooking was the hardest part for a lot of people.
Yeah. I've seen a lot of people that are successful that meet every single one of those criteria that you just pointed out. I saw something where somebody who said once that one of the traits that successful entrepreneurs show is that their ability to act on their decisions, make quick decisions and move on them. And you called it pivot, right? Like when their ability to pivot, right? So we don't have all the answers when we start down a journey in most situations, right? Same thing, we're driving down the road. Somebody runs out in front of you, you pivot. You make a decision quick, right? Hit the brakes, swerve, whatever it may be. Same thing with your business, right? Yeah. You start heading down one path, you're like, that's not working, right? We need to pivot in a different direction. And I think a lot of people who get stuck, they realize that, okay, a decision I made didn't work out, and they start having that self-doubt, right? That okay, maybe I'm not made out for this. Or
they
maybe,
freaking panic, bro.
And they don't make a decision. Where your successful entrepreneurs, your successful SaaSpreneurs, they're like, I expected that one of my decisions wasn't going to work out, and I knew that I was going to have to pivot, and this is that point where I need to pivot. So I'm going to go this direction now.
Or they failed so bad, they just started all over again. I've heard those stories. I'm like, wow, I would have never known.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't intended to tell everybody. I'm like, all right, I get it. Good point.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, that's fantastic. Thank you. Okay. And then often you talk about turning simple tools into scalable income. If you are walking a brand new agency, so imagine this person had just found HighLevel. You're meeting with them. They've somehow got on your calendar, and you're meeting with them face to face. If you were walking a brand new agency right now with one HighLevel user seat and minimal budget, how would you architect an offer that's both high value for the client and scalable for the agency?
Yeah, I think it comes down to understanding that agency owner's comfort zone, what and how you could push them to the limit. What are their guardrails? And there's different forms of it. And how bad do they want it? And what does the finish line look for them?
Okay.
And the path of least resistance is realer than ever. Some people realize it, others don't. And to understand that as a coach, to understand that as a trusted advisor, is knowing how to ask the right questions. And I would try to figure out, why are we doing this? And I start with we, and then I start going laser focus into you. because no one wants to feel like they're alone in the beginning of the conversation. So we just this is my strategy. Just I'm going to go light on you.
Okay.
And then we're going to go heavy into understand, like, I'd rather talk you out of this, man, save you the headache, save you all the things that are associated with it, because this is not a hobby. We're talking about businesses' lives, revenue, and liabilities.
Yeah.
And as you start asking the right questions, I think this is where a lot of people sometimes miss out of excitement and business opportunity, is asking myself the right questions as the potential agency owner, interested, and then who and what am I going to be doing, and what are the questions I would ask those people, my potential clients.
Yeah.
And I learned this when I was corporate JB. When I was corporate JB, trying to shift people from the yellow pages to digital marketing, they were good with the yellow pages. I said, dude, that does you nothing, until I saw the tracking numbers. And what I learned from those business owners was, if it's working, don't change it. And I'll pay the premium if it's bringing me the premium.
Right.
And what I started to realize in that part was, how do I get them over the fence? And how I applied that at HighLevel was asking those questions to different levels of agency owners. Because in my opinion, the word agency owner is just thrown around a lot. Owner, operator, agency owner, business owner, just thrown around a lot. To really hone in on it, you need to know what's the skin in the game and how much of it is left.
Yeah.
And then at that point, you can start to really coach and guide somebody blindfolded, because they're going to go off of their senses, not off of the shiny object or the shiny closeness of the finish line. And there's exercises that are out there that people could literally close their eyes and identify, if you spin them 5, 6, 7 times, what is around them, because their vision remembered that, and their senses are connected.
What do you remember from when your eyes were open?
Oh, man. Yeah, it's so powerful. And I think that we go back into like our mindset growing up. What do I remember when I almost got, hit by a car because I was running real fast and my mom started yelling? You remember these moments, and these moments are what shape up. So, back to your initial question of what I would tell an agency owner, somebody getting into HighLevel, is really determine the path you want to take and why. And then, are you prepared to take on the noble calling of being a trusted advisor to business owners that have heard of the product and are associating you, before you even identify yourself, as an expert in the product? Because their first impression of you is, looks the part, is the part, probably the best choice. And here's the thing. They will pay whatever you tell them to pay.
Yeah.
It is still your responsibility to deliver. Correct. And there's this responsibility part of it, of being a good human. And I call that like these karma points. If you could cash in many karma points. When I had my little agency, right, I'd forget to bill people, because my focus was not collecting money, believe it or not.
It was helping them.
It was just helping them. And then the money came on its own, because when I was corporate JB, they say, do what's right by the customer, and everything else the points will care for itself.
100% agree with that.
But that's different when you're getting paid a salary with a car allowance and health insurance.
Yeah, that's the truth.
So I could do that all day. But doing it as an agency owner, when you're about to get married, holy smokes, we almost didn't get married.
Yeah.
Until HighLevel reached out and said, hey, we don't want to talk to you. And by the grace of God said, hey, we think you're a good fit, which is crazy.
That's fantastic. I love that story. Yeah, it's funny you say this, because when you are getting a salary, you're getting a guaranteed paycheck. You've got that peace of mind. Like, hey, on the 15th, I'm getting paid. When you're a business owner, we always preach about, like, concentrate on helping your client and the money will come. Sometimes that's hard to do when in the back of your mind, you're like, okay, I'm trying, but I have a car payment due next week. And am I going to have enough money to pay that?
Yeah.
My mortgage is due next week. Am I going to have enough money to pay that?
I got 2 chargebacks. How am I going to cover that?
Correct. Things like that. Right. So it's interesting that you mentioned that, because those are real feelings that a lot of business owners, that we try to coach them out of feeling them like that, but they're real. It's a legitimate concern. My best friend and worst enemy is my emotion. That's my best friend and my worst enemy. And those that know me personally will say, JB, you're crazy, but in so many great ways. And they know how to balance me because the intent is clear. Yeah.
And I think that's powerful. And having a village when you get in this journey is powerful. See, the software is great. It's been proven. It sells itself, is amazing. It's you fitting into that center that are you able to just manage the pressure and the challenge, man, all alone until you figure out who's your village, what's your why, what's your pricing, new thing comes out. Do I do that? Do I not?
Yeah.
It's
the shiny object.
Yeah, man.
We actually coach people not to pay attention to Level Up Day for that very specific reason.
You know what's great? It's funny you say that. That Level Up Day, it was just maybe either I was just crazy where we were running around with so many awesome VIPs and new people in our ecosystem that I wasn't even able to like listen and see the updates. I had to literally go on the blog and then look at the transcript, which is crazy. And I think that's a different level you're at in your journey where I know there's going to be a lot of great stuff. I just need to take care of the business at hand.
Yeah.
I'll figure out the great stuff later.
Yeah.
It's a great place to be.
Hey, I just wanted to take a second. If you're enjoying this video, we would really appreciate it if you would hit the subscribe button just below, the thumbs up that gives us a like, and the bell to get notified whenever a new video comes out. We appreciate you. Now let's get back to the video. We started in HighLevel in April of 2020, and you figure Level Up Day is about October.
That was around COVID.
Yeah, correct. It was right after COVID. Yep. And Level Up Day is in October of every year, right? And so by the time we had launched, they had just about to do Level Up Day. And we were like, oh, this is awesome. All these new features and so forth. And then what I noticed is it took us 2 months to recover from Level Up Day.
Oh, yeah.
My own fault. Because I was like, oh, we can now do this. We can do this. Is right when they released the social media planner.
When you say recover, do you mean like financial, like $7,000 worth of hotels and travel and food? And
no, like where we were dialed in and focused on what our offer was. And then when Level Up Day came, we were like, okay, we have all these different things that we can do now, right? And we stopped focusing on our offer, started focusing on all the new stuff that we could offer. And it slowed us down. Our sales dropped. I think that was the same year, if I remember correctly, that they released the social media planner. I was like, social media planner, we can start selling this. This is awesome. The second year, same thing. We're moving full force. We're doing really well. We have sales every single month. We're growing. Level Up Day comes 2021. We're like, oh, AI, right? AI's coming. They talked about it, right? Like, and then we're like starting to focus on all those different things. It wasn't until after the first 2 years where finally I was like, you know what? Because I'm extremely analytical. I'm looking at like our sales dropped from October, November, December every year. And it wasn't because we were getting less leads. It wasn't because we were not as good at what we were doing. It was because we were less focused, right? We became focused on the new shiny object in the room. So about year 3 was where we started adapting the rule of I don't look at Level Up Day, like the day they release all the new features, until we wait for the more important things to trickle to the top in the community. So in this Facebook group, you'll start seeing what like people love, and when you start seeing it over and over again, like okay, I'm gonna pay attention to that now, right? But now we just continue to focus on our offer, continue to focus on what it is we're doing, and keep growing. And
it's obedience, and that business obedience is important.
Yeah. So number 3. Okay, so
I feel like we're doing like an end of year countdown. I feel like I'm like on the.
We've got like
remember MTV? It was like MTV, BET, number 3. All right, let's go.
Number 3. Here we go. You've become a real advocate for integrating AI and automation into agencies and small to medium business models via HighLevel, of course. For someone who's just dipping their toes in this space, what's the one shift you believe must happen to move from traditional agency to an AI-enabled agency?
By the time this is published, maybe it all changes.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
That's a very good point. Yeah.
And you know what I see? I'm the nosy neighbor. Okay, I will look through the window just to see what's going on at 1 a.m. Right? Is that the cat walking, or is that the neighbor? Or
who's parked at the neighbor's house?
Who's parked in the neighbor's house, or double parked with their blinkers on? Right? And as I look on the different feeds, I look on Threads, I look on YouTube, I look on Facebook, I look on all these different feeds. Everyone's kind of got their own angle to it. And what I mean by that is there are people that are positioning just graphic AI, teaching that. Then there's video AI. Then there's Facebook groups and in-person seminars and webinars and all these different elements, where they focus on open AI and then they focus on a variety of AIs, and they focus on high-level AI, or they focus on agentic AI. And it's like, then they focus on taking courses of AI and teaching like this adult learning style training of AI, kind of like what Coursera and all these other sites have. So many different angles. And I think that for someone who's going to, one, you have to be aware of it, or you literally are out of the conversation. So what does being aware of it feel like and look like, in my opinion, is just knowing how to use it enough in the workplace for you, how your customer could potentially use it in their workplace, and then in your personal life. And I'll give you an example. I haven't been to Barnes & Noble's in almost 5 years.
The bookstore.
Yeah. I call it the modern day library. Okay. I haven't been there in almost 5 years. I'm just running around like everyone else. And I went to Barnes & Noble's, and then I went to the Apple store.
Okay.
I got this like Mac Mini 5.
Okay.
Because I saw it all over my feed. $600. I'm not endorsed by Mac, Apple. Put that out there, right?
We'll put a little Apple logo.
I forgot we're live, whatever we are. We're recording and stuff. I gotta just remind myself.
There's affiliate links in the window.
Yeah, no. But like, I got to think, because everyone's talking about vibe coding. I thought vibe. I don't know what is it all like, right? I'll just get this as cheap. It's like buying a PS5 or an Xbox, and I'll figure it out. Worst case scenario, return it, pay the restocking fee. So I get there, and then I go to Barnes & Noble, because I got like this little hobby every once in a while that I'll, just kind of look at the back of a book, look at the summary, and then I'll look at the table of contents to find out if any of my problems are in there, and then I'll go to that chapter and I'll try to solve my problem. Okay. I'll do that digitally. Okay. But I said, let's go in person to see what they got. And I went to the magazine aisle. Now, magazine aisle back in the day used to have publications of like gossip, used to have current events, all
fitness,
these fitness, the whole nine, men's health, women's health, this, that, and the other. Here's the new up and coming. What used to be just the college bookstore approach, which was four quadrants, laminated guides to mini magazines or mini paperback books, which were cliff notes or designed to help you in a course. These are now self-publications of AI tutorials in the Barnes & Nobles that I went to.
Wow. That's
what I said. Wow. I said, I'm onto something here right now. Now, again, we think we're all innovators in our own sense. We catch things at certain levels. Yeah. We're just reinventing the wheel at some point. It's just, what part of the wheel are you on? I look at this bookshelf and I said, oh my gosh, I bought like $80 worth of magazines. Now, I haven't even opened the magazines yet. Okay, but I bought them all.
Okay.
All AI. They're on my counter where I make my coffee. I'll get to it eventually. But the moral of the story, I bought them as a reminder that this is the way paper is turning into education. So what AI is not just online stuff. It's learning it in a new way that people like to learn, which is hands, in their hand. And it's to say that these magazines are like 80, 90, 100 pages. And they're showing you how to use AI in your personal life, examples. Your work life, examples. They have advertisements of things, but it is a new way of learning and advertising. That's how much AI, we think it's disrupting now. It's going to literally be the new way people are aligning their business with technology.
Yeah.
So now you'll have a high-end vehicle next to an AI ad.
Yeah.
Like the billboard will be maybe attorney advertisement, AI, and then high-end vehicle. Because they want to be where the other high-end AI-related businesses are.
Yeah.
Such a game. And I hope I didn't confuse your audience or throw things off. But dude, this is not going anywhere.
It's evolving faster than we can learn it.
For it to be in Barnes & Noble's in a magazine section with big letters, I have it here, bro. Because my friend couldn't believe me. I'm like, dude, you thought advertisement is different. I was like, I just spent like $80 on magazines because I couldn't believe that this is how they're now advertising AI. Like literally, it's such a game changer. And again, you go to Barnes & Noble's, like this is what you see. Like you like Algebra 1,
Oh, wow.
right? You have Algebra 1
Yeah.
stuff. This is all going to be AI high-level stuff soon.
Yeah.
Now, what does that mean? It means that it's not going anywhere. And if you want to teach AI, you can monetize your knowledge, experience teaching adults. Or you could teach young adults, right? Or you could offer it as a service. Or you could offer it as a done-for-you build-out, or done with you. You could sell it as some sort of SaaS, or SaaS with other services. The creativity is literally up to you. Off of 2 letters, AI.
It's interesting because I think of AI today as the way the internet was in the 90s. Like, so many people are like, oh, I will never use the internet. It's going to take over the world and so forth. And nowadays, the internet's embedded in every aspect of our lives, right? I remember my grandparents saying, I will never use a mobile device, right? You know, like there's no way. Now nobody has a home phone.
Grandma Bermudez has a better iPhone than I do.
Yeah.
I'm still running off the 15 Pro. She's got a 17.
Yeah, she's upgraded.
Crazy.
Yeah. And that's the way AI is today, right? It's evolving faster than we can learn it. It's funny you say vibe and so forth. I see it's every day I'm online, I see something new about AI technology. Like vibe coding came out. And I was like, well, I don't even know what that is.
Dude, I got the Mac Mini in the original box in my closet because I know it's going to throw me off and I'm just waiting to commit the time to it. Because I'm like a squirrel when it comes to this stuff. I want to be on the up and up. I consider it like a work hobby, and it is the future.
100%.
And you have to embrace it.
Well, that's fantastic. So, all right. So let's kind of go back and talk a little bit about, like, HighLevel is a phenomenal tool, right? But it really is a tool. And I think too many times people think of HighLevel as the solution instead of the actual tool to get them to the solution. Because you and I might have an agency that offers the exact same service, right? And you sell it completely different than I sell it, and I sell it completely different than you sell it. And why is it that you can charge more than I can charge, right? So the solution is really the behind the scenes of who's building it out within HighLevel. So if I were a brand new agency, and you were trying to coach me through essentially launching and I've just found HighLevel, what advice would you give me?
Yeah, I get a chance to do this with HighLevel, and this is not a plug at all. And if we need to cut it out, we cut it out. But I do this 5-day challenge.
I love that.
And
I've seen it many times.
And I'm telling you, internally, we'll say, all right, we're going to go super corporate JB, read off the slides, read off of this, and then they say, JB, just be you. And it's crazy because, again, sometimes I forget I'm live.
Yeah.
And it'll be like 3 hours, and they're like, all right, we got to get off. Like,
it's time to log out, JB.
You got to shut off, man.
Other people have lives.
And then on Friday, you probably all know Chase Buckner and Ryan Howell, and like they're like, dude, you got to get off. Like, we got to go over the new releases. And I'm like, I'm just getting warmed up. Hey guys, we'll be back Monday. But that just shares with you that, getting coached by somebody, they have to love what they do.
Yeah.
If they don't love what they do, well, then they're just regurgitating stuff that they are reading or what they know. That's maybe historical at that point. So I think always find yourself a coach that you trust, and you could do a little bit of back channeling and say, does this guy know, or does she know what they're actually talking about?
Yeah.
And they don't need to have like this exit of $1 million exit or anything. They just know enough to help you get to the next level. So when I get the chance to be with these 5-day challengers, it's like a one-way communication. I'm talking, they're listening, which is crazy. And then they're typing back, which is amazing. And we're having this dialogue, and the same problem comes up. It's, I'm either not techie or I'm not salesy enough. And you don't have to be 100% of any of those. You have to just be a good person.
Yeah.
And what I mean by that is, if you could be a good person and be excited about helping people, that's a good foundational start. Then you get around other good people that want to learn with you. And then the next thing is networking, being engaged in the conversation. It's like being in school and never raising your hand or never talking to nobody.
Yeah.
They forget you're there.
Yeah.
So being around those like-minded people, and then studying on your own time. Meaning, Like we have help.gohighlevel.com. That's your textbook,
Yeah.
right? That's your self-paced learning. Then we have playbooks. You got to watch those, 18 videos that are 3 minutes to 8 minutes long. And it's not me, so I'm not telling you to watch me for 3 hours and then
Don't go look at my pretty face.
Nah, dude, don't watch me. It's my colleague Haplin, who's amazing. He's got a different way of teaching adult and all age learners. So you have a variety. It's not the variety, it's not the tools, and it's not the education sources. It's the person's intent and heart. They're not in it 100%, and they have this mindset of like, it's owed to me.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's not.
It's not. Like, what's owed to you is the service level agreement that the thing will be on when you get on and ready to use it. Right? There's things that are non-negotiables.
Yeah.
Right? There has to be uptime. But you have to do the work. And I think sometimes we need to look in the mirror and say, why am I doing this?
Yeah. It's so funny that it's so interesting that you say this because it's spot on. You're 100% on point with the.
And you're dealing with these customers in hundreds. Like you have your own business in the high level ecosystem. So it's not just me talking to a couple thousand people. They're going to you or they're talking to you. In addition, and you've been doing this longer than I've been in the ecosystem.
Yeah, we have this student in our course. His name's Tommy, and we often refer to it as the Tommy method. And the reason I tell you this is because Tommy started with HighLevel before he even had a HighLevel account. He came to me, he saw what we were doing. He's like, hey, can you teach me? And I was like, no. I said, I can't teach you because you have to be a certain type of person to be able to do what we do. And you have to have the right intentions. But what I can do is I can guide you, right? I was like, here's how HighLevel works. HighLevel's the tool, but you have to provide a solution. So what he did is he got together with his wife. His wife's in the veterinary space. Tommy is not in the veterinary space. And they came up with an offer in their head. This is all in their head before they even had a HighLevel account. And I was like, okay, so now that you have an offer, you have an idea of what solution you're going to provide because she's got a background in the veterinary space. I was like, go talk to 3, 4, 5 people, have conversations with them, figure out what their biggest pain points are. And then I want you to sit down and ask yourself, can I fix their pain point? If you can fix their pain point and you have good intentions, right? And you legitimately are there to help them, then this is the right model for you. And then offer them, come up with a price point that you think is fair for them and fair for you. And a week later, he comes back and goes, hey man, I think I just sold somebody. What do I do now? I was like, well, we got to get you a HighLevel account. So let's get you.
You're trying to stay cool, calm, collective because you don't want to overexcite him. Right. It's like, gotcha. I know. I feel the feeling.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, we got to get you. Like, now you're taking the wheel.
Yeah. And the funny thing is this is 9 months ago. The dude's crushing it now. He's got a 6-figure agency. Never envisioned himself in the agency space, but now he's helping like 30 different veterinary clinics. Getting ready to expand and considering opening a second agency. He started to kind of figure it out and like, okay, look, but if I asked him to go in and build a workflow, he'd be like, I have no clue, right? Because he doesn't focus on those things. He focuses on how do I help people? And what we teach him is like, you need to know if it can do that, not how it can happen. Somebody can show you how it can happen or somebody can do it for you. You need to know if it's possible. If it's possible, go sell it.
Yeah. And there's so much to unpack on there. And I will say that sometimes, and again, I'm just being transparent, right? Like sometimes my emotional answer comes off as fluff. It's not fluff. And I'll tell you why, man. And I get this sometimes too, where JB, you're always like over enthusiastically happy. Well, dude, when you've been around like so much miserable salespeople that are complaining, someone has to bring the sunshine. Or you're just going to be doom and gloom with them. So it's just like this natural habit of over positively because you cash in those positive karma points. And I try to get into the emotion side of first because when shit hits the fan, your emotion is what determines what's next.
Correct.
And if you could lock in emotion outside of software, outside of risking everything, then your emotion keeps you obedient. And when you start to go through these trials and tribulations of failure, you take this deep breath, you get out of your body at that moment, you look outside in, and you start to give yourself advice that you would have given to someone else in your situation. And that is the power of being in control, in my opinion.
That's amazing.
And it's a little woo-woo, but I took a lot of woo-woo trainings and a lot of seminars, and I binged a lot of YouTube, and it's what made me a mature person in my lane.
Yeah.
And there's unlimited lanes. So you don't got to be like everybody. You just got to have heart.
Yeah. Did you see Jesse Eitzer?
I saw briefly, man. And by the time I got out, the hairs on my arms popped out.
Man, that dude is intense.
I didn't have to shave my arm hairs. They were gone. The energy.
There's something he said that stuck with me ever since. And he says, no matter what time of the day it is, no matter what's going on in his life, no matter what stress is in his world, when somebody asks him, how are you doing? He says, outstanding. Oof. Every single time. He goes, I don't care what's going on in the world. He goes, I'm outstanding. I'm doing outstanding. He goes, I hope you're outstanding. He goes, because when I say those words out loud, it changes my mindset. It changes the way I feel. It changes my energy. It changes everything about me. And like when you listen to this guy talk, I mean, like he's spot on, like to the point where like your words determine your behavior.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You know, man, you brought me back mental, and this is what I was telling you. It's different when you're in this seat.
Yeah.
Because you start to reminisce things.
Yeah.
And this turns into an hour podcast or like a marathon, okay? And I want to be respectful of the time, but
we can speed it up.
Man,
we'll change it to 1.5.
You got me into an area, and I consider it a blessing. You bring me back to remember things that we speed past all the time. Mm-hmm. But I didn't believe in manifestation early on. I thought it was just like, this guy's crazy. Mm-hmm. I had my best friend till this day. When I first met him, he would have on his wall these sticky notes, pictures of this car, this, that, and the other. And I said, dude, what's wrong with you, man? You look crazy. Mm-hmm. He's like, no, I'm manifesting. I'm planting seeds. I'm sowing the seeds. I'm putting the word in. All right.
Is that his vision board?
Vision board, which was another thing. I'm like, vision board? What the heck is that?
Yeah.
These people are in la la land.
Yeah.
Is what I was thinking then. But I was in la la land. I didn't understand. And I take it back to we're all in a different season of our life. JB, if you know so much and you're doing so many things, why aren't you where you want to be? Because there's different paths in life. I'm just lucky that I get to live this journey at this pace around this many great people at HighLevel. But I take it back to, look, people are here to learn about HighLevel. They're here to learn about how do they change their lives with it. To what you do, what I do, what others do, the commonality of is don't give up. Work hard, take the punches, listen, learn, and teach.
Yeah.
And if you could listen, learn, and teach, whether it's in a 1-day challenge or a 30-day challenge, and you could always stay fresh, well, then you are like that car that's always clean.
Yeah.
No matter what color it is.
Yeah.
And it's that's like where I feel like these unlimited car washes came in. Like, speaking of MRR, like I just signed up for the first time for like this $17 a month. You get unlimited car washes.
Drive it through every day if you want to.
I purposely went to the one that's around the corner from my house. So every day I wake up, they thought I was a police car. I'm there every day. Okay, I'm always getting a car wash. The paint's gonna cry in a minute. So, but it's about taking ownership.
Yeah, yeah. It's interesting that you talk about manifestation because I 100% agree with you. In fact, Andy and I are really close, right? I
had no clue till recently.
Yeah, Andy put me to a challenge in June of last year, and there's a reason I know the date. And that is he challenged me to get to a certain MRR within we have 4 agencies now, combined MRR between all 4 of our agencies by June of this year, to the point where he made me write it down, right? And then he made me say it out loud. And then he challenged me to say it out loud every single day, at least once or twice a day, until I hit that number. And I would wake up in the morning and I would do my my normal morning prayers, and I'd have my affirmations, and then at the end of my affirmations I would say out loud, I'm going to hit $475,000 in monthly reoccurring revenue by June of 2025. Actually, the date was June 23rd of 2025 because it was exactly a year. And I would say this every single day. And what I noticed in the first 90 days, I missed it once. And in that first 90 days, our MRR climbed rapidly every single day. And when I looked back at the end of the 90 days and I went, why did it climb so rapidly? And it was because, number one, I led the day with exactly what my goal was for the year, right? And I knew that, okay, here are the actions I have to take every single day because I don't want to come to Andy a year from now and go, yeah, I didn't come anywhere close to that, man. Sorry, that kind of thing, right? So literally, because I said it out loud every single day, I knew the number, I knew the date, right? I knew that I was getting closer to that date. So when September came around, I was like, right? I have 9 months left. When December came around, I was like, I got 6 months left, right? I knew that I didn't want to miss that deadline because I was saying it every single day.
Yeah.
And so when you start to believe that, number one, nothing's going to stop you, and you start to say it out loud every single day to where it literally is routine and you can just recite it like it's like clockwork, then what happens is your mind, your body, everything starts to do the work that is needed to accomplish those goals.
It's so easier to say it than do it, though.
Yeah.
Bro, it's, I know how you feel because the way you say it, because I've experienced in some way in my life that. So I know the blood through your body is like, dude, this thing is hot. Be careful.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you know, but, when I first met Andy, I shared one thing and he took action.
Yeah.
This was last year at Level Up at the VIP. And before then, I never talked to him. He'd be at all those SaaSpreneur events and stuff. But he's a student at his craft. But what someone may not realize is in your scenario, you had someone in your village that their superpower was being utilized. We have so many people in our villages that they have these superpowers, and we spend more time trying to demystify them or to wonder, well, who do they think they are, than instead of saying, hey, let me take advantage of this and receive the gift of this accountability. Now, in your mind, you may think, look, I repeated it, but subconsciously, you were put to a challenge without being put in an uncomfortable way.
Correct.
And that uncomfortability took care of itself as the deadline got closer. So him being the way that he uses the restroom the same way we do, we have the same, we're human.
Yeah.
What made him more superior than your moment? It was the respect. So when you respect people in your village, you respect the craft, you respect the work ethic, and you do it, man, it's the body doesn't know anything but just to get it done.
Yeah.
And I know, like, well, JB, that doesn't get me what I need to get my 10K a month. Well, I'm not the guy for that. What I will say, though, is if you're not there mentally and emotionally, well, then you're never going to get to anything.
Yeah.
And that's okay if you don't care. But you have a good village, man.
You can do anything.
It goes back to HighLevel's a tool. Damn right it is. But it's a powerful tool at that point.
100%.
Powerful stuff. So, it's really, I look back, man, I'm like, man, I missed out on so many people that were in my corner.
Yeah.
And I was like, I didn't take advantage of what they wanted to share superpower-wise. I could have, who knows?
So one more question. It's off the cuff.
Yeah. All right.
So this one I thought about when I was driving over here.
Okay.
I started at HighLevel in 2020, so 5.5 years ago.
Yeah.
And one of the things I noticed back then was everybody kind of did their own thing, right? It was a smaller community. It was still HighLevel, still relatively brand new, and everybody was viewing each other as competition. I've noticed in the last couple of years that that's changed. That there is more collaboration now than there's ever been before in the HighLevel community. You have other SaaSpreneurs that are bringing on other SaaSpreneurs to do events with them, to partner up and do coaching with. Andy and I have partnered up. Like, we're both in the same space, right? But we collaborate together to have our own event, right? Have you noticed the evolution of that? And have you seen other SaaSpreneurs starting to collaborate more in the community?
That's a small segment because think about what's the sample size of that Facebook group.
True.
Maybe there's 70,000 people in there. How many of them are daily active posters?
Yeah.
How many of them are actually, right, not bots or actually where you're at, right? There's, in my opinion, there's a few people that name the majority. They name the majority as like hard workers. They name the majority as just, that's just a group of crazy people, right? And it's usually the ones that are the loudest. And I think that you're just personally in a circle of loud, hardworking people. That circle, that village.
That's my algorithm.
Yeah, man. That village says, let's partner up. Let's tackle this together. There's enough money to be made. There's enough people to help.
Absolutely.
But then you got like Discord, and then you got Threads. You got all these other platforms, then in-person groups, and then like all over the world. And I believe that, and I hear this from different angles, and I see it from different ways, that if people were to work together more often, there would be more traction around business models and case studies and different ways. And I think that personally, there's the saying, fake it till you make it.
Yeah.
Right? I think people are faking the kindness till they find the right village, in a sense. And what I believe that is where, all right, yeah, I'll work with you, but then I'm unavailable. And that's why your addressable market, the addressable market of businesses like yours in your category are doing very well, because there's a small group of people that actually want to help. And the audience of those people that are willing to get help understand that, well, they can have people that I have to pay to help me. So I'll pay it. I'll pay the premium, because there's not a lot of people doing that type of work. Now, when it comes to, like, in my opinion, comes to selling, servicing, collaborating, we have so much more maturing to do. And it's not just a high-level thing. This is a digital, technical thing. Think about what is experienced in the high-level community. There's also other software communities that are out there.
Yes.
And I join them, and I look at what they do, and they all got like similar problems. Things go down, people complain. People want more, they complain. I was telling the gentleman outside the studio here that he goes, HighLevel's great, and this and that. And I go, man, it's because our customers, there's a small group of customers that relentlessly poke holes, fight, and do not accept the status quo. We want more. We deserve more. We believe there's more potential.
They're challenging you to be better.
And they put our developers and our teams and our critical thinkers behind the scenes to work. That's where the ideas board originated.
Okay.
And it always evolves.
Yeah.
Because there's that small group of people that just always get innovative. And they chat in the groups and all that. I say that to say this: if more people, doesn't have to be negative energy, they just applied energy into grabbing what they're good at and amplifying that in the community, create their own hangouts, create their own in-person cohorts, do things like this, then yes, our software as a service platform and our members and our resellers and our service providers, man, imagine us having a holiday party. We'd have the dopest holiday party.
Yeah.
Like, we had Level Up. We thought that was great. There was like 1,000 people at Level Up.
This seemed like there was so much more.
It felt like there was imagine we have 400,000 people at Level Up.
Wow.
That'd be like the ultimate mosh pit.
Yeah.
We'd have to have like every headliner playing. Like, this is like EDC, HDC, high level, whatever. But my point is, we're so young, in my opinion, of the journey, that today I'm here, and then I could be 55, 10 years later, 12 years later, I'm like, wow, I was like at the early stages. When my colleagues that have been here since before it is what it is are like, man, we've grown a lot.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, that's all? We got so much more.
Yeah.
And you have all these big platforms, man. They're just warming up.
Big platforms like competitors, is that what you mean?
I wouldn't even call them competitors. I call them category leaders. And like websites like G2, Capterra.
Oh, yeah.
When Corporate JB was working for what would have been the marketer's competitor, which is the corporate marketing company that pays the guy to come out. He says, oh, you're working with that unorganized agency? Dude, our corporation, we have unlimited money. We get you on board. You get a campaign manager. You don't have to call somebody's cell phone. You call our toll-free number. We'll take care of you. We're real deal. We're on the BBB, right? That guy, he could get in trouble tomorrow and his business goes down the drain. That was like the propaganda.
Right.
And the propaganda from the agency is that corporation can't do what I could do. They don't have the effort, the tools.
The manpower.
The whole nine.
Yeah.
So it's how you frame it. And I say all that because we're growing as an industry.
Yeah.
IT, AI, software as a service.
I love it. Well, dude, this has been really fun. I appreciate you coming on board and going through this. So thank you very much.
Yeah, man. It's all my pleasure. And I know I'm not for everybody, but if you...
What are you talking about?
If
this has been great.
If you listen to half of this and you got something out of it, man, Don't thank me, thank Dakota, because I've never been on one of these. This is my first time. I don't even know how HighLevel said, JB, go on there. Hopefully you cut out anything I said that's probably wrong.
I have some dirt on all of them, and that's I leveraged it.
I'm just so lucky to be a steward of what all the hard work that people are doing behind the scenes.
Yeah.
I just get a chance to celebrate it in flesh, and I enjoy it, and I'm blessed. So thank you to our customers, our co-founders, our leadership, everyone, yourself, what you and your other category leaders do in the industry. Man, it's real.
I appreciate that. I have been blessed enough to be able to see HighLevel grow from being a small company to what it is today. And I mean, right now, I think they're only scratching the surface. There's so much more that they are going to be doing, and such a much bigger marketplace that they're going to be taking over. I'm really looking forward to seeing the future.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks again, JB.
Oh, man, my
Appreciate
pleasure.
you, brother.
See you on the next one.
Yeah.